what's going on? I'm Sam, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make chicken stock from scratch. I've worked in restaurants for years in the kitchen, and if there's anything I learned from any of the executive chefs I've worked under, it's that you have got to make your stock from homemade instead of from either a can or from a bouillon in order to make a delicious soup or sauce. And before we get started, we need to make sure that we sanitize all the cooking countertops, and obviously wash your hands to prevent cross-contamination. Alright, now for this recipe, I'm going to use only a couple different things, not too many things for this. We have carrots, celery, onion. The herbs that we have is flat leaf, parsley, and thyme. We have salt, pepper, garlic, and then the most important here, the chicken bones. And this is what's going to give the stock all of its flavor. Alright, the first step here is called mise en place. And mise en place is a French word for all the preparation work. And the reason that the French do this is if you have, here's the mise en place. All of our prep work has been done here. It's been peeled and everything so that you can start faster. So if your mise en place is done, a chef is able to come in the kitchen and get all his work done much faster and more efficient. So what we're going to do is we're going to chop these just a rough dice. You're going to be straining this once you're finished with making the stock, so it doesn't matter too much. And I have some butter in here that's already nice and hot to saute these in. The same with the celery. And these are called your aromatics here. Your aromatics are your carrots, your celery, and your onion. And this is a base for a lot of different sauces, a lot of different stocks, and stuff like that. And this is going to really flavor your stock. And we're going to let these aromatics sit with the butter and sweat out, and it's going to release a lot of flavor into the butter, which is then going to be going to the water that we add later on. Here we're going to add, so that was 2 carrots, 2 celery, and an onion. We're going to add some garlic now. Whole cloves, like I said, we're going to strain this, so it's not going to matter too much. We're going to add pepper. I'm going to add the whole cloves in there, and then salt. Now when you're salting dishes in the kitchen, you want to make sure that you salt as you go, and then taste it in between. You never want to oversalt. They always say salt as you go. Now, a lot of people don't understand the difference between a stock and a broth. And the difference is this. A broth is made with whatever protein you're using. Like if you're making a chicken stock or a fish stock or a beef stock, you're going to take whatever protein you have, which in this case is the chicken. So if we were making a broth, we would use chicken meat instead of bones. And in a stock, it's made with chicken bones. And bones are a lot more flavorful, so it's going to yield a much better mineral-rich stock. So I got a spatula here. I have it on about medium when we're sauteing these. Now there's a couple different reasons for making a stock homemade rather than making it from either, like I said, a can, or this is bouillon. So you would take this and add this with hot water, and it would yield your stock. But there's a couple different reasons why chefs say always make your stock from scratch in the kitchen. Number one, canned stocks are usually very watered down in the stores. There's a lot of refined salts and MSG, unless you're talking about getting organic stocks. They're going to lack the nutrition that the canned stock would lack a lot of nutrition that the homemade stock would have in it. And a homemade stock is going to be very mineral rich. And obviously it's going to taste a lot better, and it's going to add a lot of flavor to whatever you're making, whether it be a sauce or a soup. And you can make stocks, like I was saying, other than chicken stock. You can use either, if you want to make a fish stock, you could use shrimp shells. You could use shrimp shells, lobster tails, crab legs, or you could just use fish shells. If you're making the chicken, obviously use the chicken bones, which I'm going to add right now. chicken bones. Or if you're making beef stock, you use beef bones. And beef bones being bigger than chicken bones, you're gonna cook this a lot more. This will cook for probably about 3 hours. Where if you're making a beef stock, it may cook for anywhere from 5 to 6 hours. And fish, a lot less, probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours. So, okay, now I'm going to make what's called the herb bouquet. So I have cooking twine here. I'm going to lay this out. The herbs, and again, this is thyme and flat leaf parsley. And I'm just going to take the cooking twine and tie it up. This is going to infuse a lot of flavor into the stock. You can use whatever herbs you like. These are more Italian, or if you're making an Italian soup, which is probably what I'll make out of this stock here. A lot of people don't realize it, but you can use stock for other things. Just like if you wanted to make rice, instead of adding 2 parts water to 1 part rice, you would make instead of making the two parts water, 1 part rice, you would do chicken stock instead, and that's going to flavor your rice a lot more. Even little stuff like that. So we got all this browning now, and it's time to